What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Marv Santana coaching journey here on NCAA 14. And today we're at the end of the season, man, and we're going to find out where Marv Santana is going to be coaching at next. Simply because, you know, we had too good of a season to not move on to bigger, better things. It's been a heck of a ride at this one season at Idaho. But even though we're getting this contract extraction, man, we are going to go ahead and explore other options. I did read some of your guys' comments, and I am going to go ahead. We're going to try to get a head coaching job. I don't know if we will end up getting a head coaching job, so I'm going to go ahead, sim some offers or to my next offer and see what we get. You know, because obviously we're not getting the USC head coaching job. We're just not there yet. I think folks want to see more of it, 1 year of great coaching before we get those better jobs. But, you know, looking around, man, we are a candidate to become the next head coach at Minnesota. And we look at that. We actually freaking got it. I did not think we were going to get that whatsoever. But, man, we are going. I'm accepting this offer, man. We are going to bring the row the boat mentality back to Minnesota. Man, this looks exciting. I did not think this was gonna happen, man, but here we are. And yeah, man, we are going to be a Minnesota Gopher, and it's gonna be really interesting. That's all I gotta say. So now that we got the coaching situation put out of the way, took a look at our coaching tree. We have 2 trees to work with, game management and recruiting. We have more than one to work with now, and both of our coordinators are higher levels than us. That is hilarious. I am honestly shocked that I got this job, man. I'm not going to lie. But this is the tree that I'm going to be going with. Usually I would put everything into recruiting, but I wanted to be a little bit more realistic, so I did put most of my upgrades into recruiting. Wanted to have 100% scouting, see what guys are immediately, as well get locksmith. And then, you know, we also have, you know, a little bit of game management, road warrior, as well as antifreeze. You know, I'm gonna keep it a little bit more realistic with the trees. Not everything is going to be in recruiting every single time I get an upgrade. So I mean, it'll be interesting, man. You know, it's gonna be a great old journey. I am ecstatic about this coaching job, man. Wow. Just wow. But now we gotta look for you know, look at our prospects, or the people leaving us. We actually have 3 guys leaving us. 2 of them are leaving because of playing time, and then we do have 1 person going to the NFL draft. Currently projected to go in the 4th round, and then, you know, got a bunch of other guys graduating. Not a lot. You know, the senior class was not very talented, which is probably why they went 4 and 8. But, you know, let's see if we can get, you know, these either of them to come back. He's leaving for South Alabama. That's not a surprise. As for him, there, you know, he's leaving for UAB as well, who we destroyed in the New Orleans Bowl, by the way, in the last episode. Go check that out if you haven't. So yeah, we don't get either of those guys to stay. You hate to see it. So now we go ahead and move on to recruiting to see what we have working with. Kind of looking at where our recruiting class is. We're currently 38th in the nation right now. We got 1 4-star, a bunch of 3-stars mainly, 1 2-star, 1 1-star. You know, it's okay for the Big Ten. Usually I would be pretty happy with 38th in the nation, you know, but we gotta keep moving forward just because we got a lot of work to do if we want to be competitive in the Big Ten. And, you know, just taking a look at what we need right now, looks like we need 2 fullbacks and a free safety. So gonna go ahead and, you know, oh, we actually need a free safety completely. Well, gonna have to at least start with, I'm not gonna worry about scouting because we need all the points that we need right now to get as many quality guys as we can right now. So I'm gonna start putting some points into this fullback here, just to make sure that we get that need met, at least partially, of course. And then just looking around what else we need. I'm gonna spend the rest on getting talent, right? Because that's what I need the most. Need to get as much talent on this team as possible. Trying to build this squad up as much as we possibly can, man. Because like being under an 80 overall in the Big Ten, that's probably why they went 4-8 and fired their previous head coach. Like there's like no other way to even go about it. So like I said, we're gonna start with Reggie Hawley. He looks like a 75 overall tackle, and you know, seems like a good pass blocker, has decent run and impact blocking as well. Somebody that we could definitely use. I'm probably going to put a lot of I'm gonna put most of my points into him, and then probably put some more into Mike Furman. You know, just really trying to prioritize that defensive line. You know, go ahead and put, you know, roughly 3,000 points, a little bit more than that. Go about 3,300. And then I'm going to go back to that fullback and put the remaining points back into him, because 400 points. I really want this middle linebacker too, but, you know, I can't go after all the guys in the world. So, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go ahead and sim to see how signing day goes for us. Look at that. We got the results from signing day. We get all guys that we wanted. We even got Avery Freeman, which we didn't even put any points in. So I don't know how we pulled that off, but we're so happy to get those guys off onto the squad. We got a few other lower rated guys. But, you know, we signed 8 total prospects. 5 of them were either 3 stars or 4 stars. So, you know, we're off to a, you know, pretty decent start, you know, making the best out of the situation, at least getting the best guys that were available on our recruiting board at the time, at least from the previous coaching staff. And, you know, as a result, we moved up to number 30 in the nation, moving right behind Penn State and Michigan State as well. You know, moving up a few starts, already off to a, you know, pretty solid start. Again, you know, trying to get this team on the right track, and that as you know, we'll go ahead and move forward, see what the position changes can do for us, man. Alright, so here we are now at position changes, and I'm gonna start with the athletes. That's usually where I like to start out with. You know, BJ Morris seems like a solid guy, and usually I would put a guy like Morris at wide receiver. I mean, that's where his highest overall is at. However, we do need to fill our free safety position, so I'm gonna put him at free safety. Because I want to have, you know, an actual player of decent talent there instead of a walk-on. No offense to the walk-ons that are out there, you know, just can't afford to have a 40 overall on the roster. And then I'm also going to move Adrian Smith to defensive tackle, so that'll shore him up pretty well, and just kind of glossing over the rest of the roster. Dave Dennis, he's going to be our only fullback on the team, but we run a spread option. At least that's what Marv Santana brings to the table from his time at St. Thomas during his last season. You know, just looking around, seeing what the rest of the squad can think. We're going to go ahead and definitely move this left guard out to left tackle, just because Michael White should not be starting at left tackle. So we're going to go ahead and move Kramer there, because he would be backing up Lamar Pope. And I think we can do a little bit better than that. And then what I'm also going to do, I'm going to end up moving Ty Manning back to right guard. I know he takes a little bit of an overall hit, but I think he can be a little bit better, and he's also younger than Rodney Ross. It'll be an interesting battle in camp, but, you know, I just want to put the best 5 guys on that offensive line as possible, and from there, you know, really need to focus in on trying to really just trying to do our best and, you know, controlling the line of scrimmage. That's where we're going to start with winning a bunch of these games, is doing just that. Cornerback, we have a bunch of new corners on the team. We're going to be really young, so we're going to be relying on Jeff Haley as well as Travis Grant. Free safety, I talked about earlier, got BJ Morris to make sure we don't have a walk-on. And then looks like Robbie King is going to be starting for us at safety, and that's going to really kind of do with the position change for right now. So let's see how the training results go for us. So now we take a look at the training results, in during the course of our spring ball and all of that good stuff. Starting at quarterback, looks like we'll have an interesting battle between Carlos Mitchell and Jerome Hopkins. They're similar overalls, but looks like Hopkins is a better athlete, whereas Mitchell has the better arm talent. So that'll be interesting to see who we go with later on in this episode. Trey Bryant is up to an 88 overall, with Blake Smith looking like a pretty solid backup actually. Wide receivers, it's gonna be a lot of these guys. It seems like there's a lot of upperclassmen. A lot of the best players on this team are seniors, so it seems like we're gonna definitely have a very long rebuild ahead of us, just because we are gonna have to figure out how to replenish our roster quickly with young talent, because we're gonna have a lot of guys, it seems like, graduating over the next either this next season or 2 seasons from now. And it's just something that we're gonna have to figure out before we go ahead and move forward. As look at left outside linebacker looks a little disturbing. Only a 72 overall. That could definitely be a weak point for us. Actually, the linebacker core, that might be the first thing. That and that secondary and the offensive line are probably things that are going to try to focus on. But there is some talent here. We have guys on this team that seems like they have the potential of making it to the NFL. Trey Bryant, Vince Concepcion. I'm looking at both you guys. I'm going to need you guys definitely to be leaders in order to be successful for this upcoming season. But now that we got the off-season stuff out of the way, now it's time to get ready for our very first season as a head coach. Going to take a look at the recruiting board, as well as some redshirt players, as well as decide who we're going to redshirt, as well as the custom schedule. Starting with the schedule, man, it's going to start off nice and easy. I'm going to start with Mid-Tennessee State and San Jose State at home. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and move this to week 1. I actually don't like having a bye week 1 because it's kind of useless. There's already enough time between seasons. We'll have San Jose and Mid-Tennessee State first, and then we go on the road to play against number 3 Ohio State. But then, it gets a little bit easy for us. Actually, not a lot of teams that were ranked. We do play Auburn on the road, so that'll be a good matchup for us. We'll play Michigan. And then, last 2 weeks of the season could be pretty tough on us, playing on the road to play against Nebraska, as well as playing number 17 with Wisconsin as well. But, I'm really actually happy about the schedule. My goal for this season is simply to make a bowl game. Really trying to bounce back, because we got a rebuild project ahead of us moving forward. Also at quarterback, we have quite a bit going on at quarterback. So this might be a little controversial, but I'm going to go ahead and redshirt Jerome Hopkins. And my reasoning for it is we'll still have 3 quarterbacks available for us to work with, and that will give us an extra year to work with Jerome Hopkins. And my feeling is, and I've said this probably quite a few times already, this is going to be a longer rebuild. In order for us to be competitive in the Big Ten, we need to get talent around him. And Carlos Mitchell is going to graduate next season anyways, so it'll give us more time to get him some more young talent around him moving forward. As we'll also go ahead redshirt Blake Smith, go ahead and redshirt Ryan Bell as well. He's way down there on the depth chart as well. And gonna do the same thing for David Powers. Same reason. Make sure we have a really good target to give the future starting quarterback in Jerome Hopkins. Gotta look out for your boy. I'm not gonna redshirt anybody at tight end, and I think that's probably gonna be the case for the rest of the offensive line. Same with defensive line. Actually, we will redshirt one person, Mike Turman. I'm gonna redshirt him. He's not going to start, and I don't want. There's a bunch of seniors on the team, so let the seniors get some run, and then Mike Furman, when he's a freshman redshirt, he will be ready to play and unleash hell on earth which is my absolute plan. Linebackers, I'm not going to redshirt any linebackers because I would require us to need linebackers. Same with corners. We are a little thin at cornerback, so a lot of freshmen are going to get some early work, and that's going to be the case too, mostly for the secondary. Only exception is Sean Joseph. I'm going to redshirt him. We have someone with the same overall and a little bit faster in Anthony Fisher, so giving Sean Joseph a red shirt, or at least a guaranteed red shirt, that'll be good for us. So now taking a look at our recruiting board, and this is kind of what I do with my recruiting board, and I did this with the South Central Louisiana State Dynasty as well when I had that series up on YouTube as well. I like to be a little bit more realistic, so I won't choose all the prospects. I will allow my offensive and defensive coordinator bring more prospects onto the at least onto my recruiting board. But these are the 15 guys that I've chosen, and the scary part for us, right, is that there wasn't even any 4-stars or 5-star prospects to work with. But I mean, there is a few solid guys that hopefully we can land. Maybe not necessarily guys that jump out on paper, but at the same time though, these are some guys that can at least come in, make a difference, maybe not start right away for us, but at least provide good depth for us, and that's really what we need. We need depth across the board. We are capable of churning out NFL players. We just got to go about getting it done for us. So yeah, this is going to be my recruiting board, and hopefully we could land a good chunk of these guys moving forward. But hey, that's all I'm going to have today. Next time out, we will go ahead and play San Jose State, hosting those guys, and we will have our head coaching debut. So it's going to be a good one. Make sure you smash that like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you happen to be brand new, of course. This is John J. Gaming on the mic, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.